Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How's it going? Let's come on in, sit back and relax, and have a great stream. Bunny, why are you calling this game out? I love these games. I don't know what it is, but just the way this game is these games are set up. I enjoy them. So, this is the second Voice of Cards game. I may have played the first one when it came out, streamed it, it's on my YouTube. I enjoyed the ever-loving crap out of it, even though I didn't get the good ending, because I was not smart enough to realize that it was which one was the good ending. I still have yet to go back and play through it. But yeah. But Dumb Fox is good. Well, thanks for the hydrate, buddy. Well, to be fair.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Med check, everybody, and thanks for the stretch, buddy. To be fair, the good ending made it sound like it was too good to be true, because I don't know if y'all plan on playing them or not, but you had, like, choice A, which is, like, save this person. Choice B is to save this person. Choice C is to save this person. And then you have choice D, which is to save everybody. And it just sounded too good to be true. Granted, I went through and collected all the mystical things that you needed in order to get the good ending. I just didn't realize I was able to do it. So, you know, that's how it goes. Hopefully this time we'll get the good ending. I didn't want to have to subject people to, like, another boss, like, the boss fight all over again in the last one. So, let's see how these things go. So, let's get started, shall we? Voice of Cards and the Forsaken Maiden. I wonder if I think they have a new voice actor.
Ah, I bid you welcome. I shall be your game master for this tale. It is a pleasure to have you. Now then, just like this, I will be using cards to draw you into the world of this story.
A man proclaiming himself to be a great hero has embarked on the journey to slay a dragon. That's the last game!
From time to time, you may be presented with choices like this. That's correct. It doesn't mean anything, but still, good job.
Okay, nice to see you again, Ice Take. I was wondering about that, because I'm just like, I don't know who this person is, but it says they've talked here before. And I try to remember, leave the poor dragons alone. I mean, yeah. But, I'm just like, I don't, like, they said they talked here before, but I don't know who it is. So, alright. Nice. Oh, those are cute emotes.
You're following along with all this, I trust?
No.
Moving on. I believe your experience of the story will be shaped in no small part by my narration. As such, I hope you'll have rather more fun keeping the sound on while you play.
That's the plan.
That said, rest assured that the game remains enjoyable without sound. My words will be subtitled, just as they are now.
Would you like to display the subtitles? Remember, yes, display subtitles. Are you crazy? Yeah, I can change.
With the formalities sorted, we're all ready to begin the game. My. Yeah, you can hear the sound of the waves. Oh, how very evocative. Now then, let's begin our tale. allow me to welcome you to the world of Voice of Cards.
You know, I wonder if they changed the voice actor because they got flack from the last game. Like, they're, like, of the 1,000 people who played the game, or at least 1,000 people who left the review, there were a few people who said the voice wasn't good. I enjoyed the voice of the last guy, but this one's not bad either.
You're about to step into the shoes of the hero of this tale as he sets forth on a grand adventure.
You don't say.
Said adventure takes place in a remote part of the sea, in which ancient traditions are alive and well. You will touch the hearts of many who dwell in this place as you journey to change fate's promise of untold ruin.
Interesting. I think I can handle this.
I believe in you. I believe your journey will be a success.
Good to know.
And on that note, it is time for that journey to begin. May the waves see you safely across the tides.
But yeah, it's fun to have you back, Poison Slash, and everybody else. I'm glad everybody's here. I'm subjecting you to this. I just love this game too much. Voice of Cards, the Forsaken Maiden.
Our story begins in a secluded grotto. The sound of the waves echoes softly across the rock walls. A solitary young man stands in front of a ship floating in the water. Brush in hand, he busies himself painting the vessel.
Oh my. We get
Once
a vote
he
in this
finishes
game?
his work, he decides to carve his name into the side of the hull. A
We get a-
finishing touch.
We get a boat in this game? I get to name the boat? Okay, but we're going to use the actual name of the character. Baron, is the name correct? That is right.
You carve your name in small lettering into the ship. Oh, a handsome name, that.
I did successfully beat Wall of Flesh without an arena. That is amazing. I congratulate you, Sarah. Madam. Person. Fantastic. That is no small feat right there.
This young lad is the hero of our tale, and your window into the world. You're a navigator without a ship, and your soul yearns to set out upon the ocean blue, for your own reasons. You have spent a great deal of time repairing the wrecked ship before you, in the hopes of crafting a partner, aboard which you might sail the high seas.
Oh, you did it on Revengeance mode too? That's crazy. Like, I just kept dying and we're just on expert mode. And it was just like, ow, this hurts. And it is indeed painful, but it's fun. But on Revengeance mode, that sounds redonkulous. Redonkadonk. Uh-oh.
The sound of a wooden box tumbling to the ground rips through the grotto. You heave a deep sigh and decide to head over to the source of the racket.
Fine, whatever made that noise. You don't say. Is your piece. Oh, I should unplug my controller.
The source of the noise turns out to be a young girl. It looks as though she has knocked over a wooden box, packed with shipbuilding supplies, and is in quite a panic about it.
Yeah?
The girl's name is Laddie. You came across her some time ago, collapsed on a beach. You attempted to bring her to a nearby village, but she was quite opposed to the idea for some reason. As such, she has been helping you repair the ship here.
Oh, okay.
You're not quite sure how to respond to her knocking the box over.
Press and hold the enter key to raise it up center slightly. If you hold it up just long enough, you might be able to peek at the contents. Yeah, the art's really, like, well done, in my opinion. Like, I won't lie, like, and more Eastern. Yeah, I know, right? Like, everybody's just like, oh, it's a game told to the median of cards, which means they're not going to put a lot of detail and stuff, and it's not going to be really well done. But I feel like it's polished. Like, it's simple, but it's polished and well enough. I mean, like, look at the design on this coat here, like, and then like the back, the cards and stuff like that. Like, sure, this stuff right here in the middle is simple, but it's not supposed to be over-exaggerated. It's literally just, you know, text on a card. That's what the whole point of the game. It's told through cards. So I find it interesting. It's okay. When you were describing it, I was thinking it was something more Western fantasy. No. It's made by the same person who did Nier Automata and Nier Replicant and... you know, the Nier games. I forget his name, which sucks because he's a great person. But he's the one that directed it, so obviously he's not gonna like let some like what's the word I'm looking for? It didn't spawn the ores, it just gave me a lot of souls of my... That is odd, Poison. I have no idea what's going on about that. Maybe something broke? The ores of the world. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not really savvy on the tech side here. I will say that the voice of cards, Snowy, the voice of cards, Isle of the Dragon Roar, that one does have a little bit more Western style. But judging from what I think that's going on with this one, they're geared towards more Eastern. Yeah.
It's okay, you say in a gentle, reassuring tone. Laddie's worried expression melts away, replaced by one of relief.
Poison. There is somebody in my Discord channel. He's got a blue name. He's like Dashito the Raven. His role is the tech wizard. His picture's a raven. He might be able to help you out. I don't know if he's busy, but he is like the tech guru of this entire like group of ours. Like everybody you saw playing yesterday and stuff like that. Like if I've got issues, I go straight to him.
You move to leave the grotto, saying, I'm going to the village to get some food. Laddie waves goodbye, her forlorn smile seeing you off. The young woman has lost her ability to speak. Neither of you have any knowledge of how she ended up in her situation, and you spend many quiet hours together in the grotto. The scent of the sea and a sense of isolation hang heavy in the air. The island is bound for ruin and has had its name since before any can really recall. This is Omega Isle. You take a deep breath and then set out for the nearby Omega Village, which shares the island's name.
Oh, the music's so great. So I have stab and air thrust. So like some of I looked into Calamity. I looked into Calamity. Just changed it. Oh, they changed it. Okay. After Wall of Flesh, you get first ores in world, then every mech boss progressively gives you the next door until the hollow bars. Okay. Okay, so that's nice. That's good to know. Added value of roll to attack to deal damage using the stone. So, like, it's simple, but it's nice. I don't think I have any abilities yet, obviously. So, like, here. You see, like, the backs of these cards? This is kind of what the generic back is. I actually changed the back of the card so it's like this. Oh?
An old spire stands tall before you. Alas, there's little reason to go poking around within.
I doubt that. Yep, a strap and the strap is a breastplate.
Beyond the pier, the ocean sprawls out in all directions, beckoning you to adventure.
Am I surrounded by mountains?
You have arrived near the entrance of the village. You spy a shadow skulking about in the midst of a thicket. The shadows fall away to reveal a small monster. It's unusual to see one this close to the village.
In the first game, like, you don't get a boat or anything like that at all. It's Pikachu! You're not wrong. Like, you can't do anything with the water in the first game. But it looks like in this one, you actually get a boat.
It might be cute, but it's still a monster. And a threat. You must slay the beast before it can cause trouble or worse in the village.
It's Pikachu! Fuck. You're not wrong. Ooh! Combat music's jamming this one. Fight! The fight is on. Take down all the enemies and victory shall be yours. Okay. Try dragging stab or air thrust over an enemy. Alright, so for those who are unaware, the way this works is that you have a set number of cards that you can have for, like, your abilities and everything like that. Fighting Pikachu, yep. So this is just a standard deal damage card. This card requires a gem, which is over here. Every character builds up one gem on their turn. And then they do different things. Stab it in this cute face. And then I can also generate a gem if I want to. I kind of want to air thrust it. That was a little overkill in my opinion. Easy win! Great achievement. I'm really digging the music for this already. Ah, this game brings a smile to my face. I'm surrounded by ocean. Alright, well, I guess we're going to Omega Village. Yes.
Gorgeous flower beds burst with blossoms that will one day wilt and wither away, much like Omega Village itself. This is a village that has accepted its fate to be but a moment in time, destined to fade.
Interesting. Make your way to the home of the village mayor. Only do. Yeah, pretty much.
An island in want of a maiden shall fall, he mutters, to no one in particular.
You fulfilled the necessary requirements to unlock the Aegis Man Flipside Story. So, fun fact. as you talk to people, fight monsters, and collect cards, you actually get, like, information, and, ooh, there's 41 cards. Decades ago, I lost my wife in the war. All I could do was watch as the life drained out of her. And I know how hard that was for you, Grandpa, but that happened yesterday. Please try to focus. There was one in the previous game where it was like this woman basically killed her husband.
This might be the last time I see this flower bed, the boy says, gazing forlornly at the flowers. Home sweet home.
No, I won't take a risk.
This is no time for a nap. You turn around and walk out the door.
What do you got?
How may I help you? The proprietor inquires.
Like to buy. You have the mercenary sword. Oh, I can equip other weapons? Normally. Like in the last game, they had, like, particular weapons and stuff like that locked to certain people. Yeah, see, this is just armor. This is a simple breastplate. This is traveler's attire. Oh. Oh, so I lose 1 defense, but I gain 2 speed. I lose 1 speed, but I gain 3 defense. I like speed, though. Tracker short sword. I don't really have a lot of money, though, so that's the problem. I would like these things, but I can't have them.
Will that be all? The proprietor asks.
Yup. Weapons, armor, and accessory cards are only effective once you equip them. I understand that.
How may I help you? The proprietor
Oh my
inquires.
word, it's the buff kid. So I wonder... Ooh. Oh, that's a new item. I hadn't seen this one before. Defroster, Unsealer, Dispel. So, like, they reuse... So, fun fact, for those who are unaware, the original Voice of Cards came out in October. They produced this... today is launch day. So, what is it? October to November... November, December, January, February. So it took them about 4 or 5 months to make this game. So there will be reused resources. Like, all of these cards are the same thing. Are, like, all reused. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the story and everything like that. So I'm also wondering if they up the items. Awesome. Because in the last game, you could only have, like, 30 items. And now you can have 50. So that's nice.
Will that be all? The proprietor asks.
That's fits.
A lone woman diligently cleans the grounds of the maiden shrine.
That's Fitz. I know it's a Fitz, but I wanted to look at it.
I wish I got to be the maiden, the girl says mournfully, dressed head to toe in maiden garb, and clearly pretending to be such.
Interesting. Plain girls flip side.
How may I help you? The proprietor inquires.
So she's new. This is a new card. What's the word I'm looking for? New card detail. And like you were saying earlier, well, I find that offensive. Oh, that hurts. But you were saying, like, the attention to detail to some of this stuff, really phenomenal. The amount of stones this woman has on her. I think accessories are new. No, accessories are not new.
Will that be all? The proprietor asks.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I just want to see what I have available. Epic sword.
You stop in at the mayor's house and discover that he already has a guest. The two are engaged in discussion. You listen in and learn that they are troubled by monsters that have appeared near the village and have been devouring precious stores of food. The villager sighs deeply. I suppose it's about the end for the village, they say flatly before departing the mayor's home.
That
The
looks
man left standing in the room
phenomenal.
has a certain sagacity about him. He notices you waiting and inclines his head in greeting. His name is Greeth. As the village's mayor, he spends his days dealing with all manner of happenings around town.
As one does.
He looks to be at a loss over the damage being caused by the monsters. It would likely be a simple matter for you to deal with the beasts.
Sure.
You offer to deal with the monsters, and Greeth replies with his thanks. You're always a big help. This is part of your daily routine. You work to sort out the village's troubles in order to procure food to eat.
Nice. For the Mega Village and the surrounding environments of monsters.
The windows are closed, and it's too dark to see much inside. All sound seems to fall away.
Interesting. Yep, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go fight some monsters.
A monster has appeared before you. It holds what's left of a piece of fruit in its teeth, and its mouth moves restlessly.
What mouth? What mouth?
With a sigh, you mutter, "Let's get this over with then," and ready your weapon.
Yep, that is HP is the red orb. The one on this is attack, that's defense. Oh, I rolled a 1. Play your hand wisely. We'll stab him. Ooh, a critical! Ah, I always love the animation they do for this. Ooh, a 5. Perfect. Critical! Hitting all the criticals. Do they drop treasure? Ooh, no, but I leveled up. HP goes up by 1, defense up by 1. 10 XP to the next level. Awesome.
With practiced skill, you swing your weapon. The blade flashes through the monster's throat. Merciless. Perfect aim. It would appear that you are quite accustomed to killing.
Interesting.
You wipe the blood off your weapon. As you do, you notice a shadow in the distance. Another monster, perhaps?
Hopefully. I hope there are more threatening monsters. There usually are.
Silently, you creep up on the shadow and bring your blade down on it with practiced speed. But the shadow nimbly evades your strike and runs off. Whatever the shadow was, it was taken aback by your unexpected assault. It looks like it ran off in the direction of the spire near the village.
Usually, the monsters do get tougher. Your HP, when your HP is low. Alright, cool. Do your cards? No, because I don't need to. Well, I guess the town is new. Yeah, pretty much.
You stand before the Spirit Spire, said to have been erected to protect the island. Yet with the villagers having accepted ruination, it now stands forlorn, an edifice without a purpose.
Well then, that's depressing.
This place, so named for the spirits themselves, is one that the villagers do not enter. Despite this, you say to yourself, I have to get rid of the monster, and decide to profane the place with your presence.
This has bad idea written all over it. I'm referring to the discussion between the old man and the mayor, where the old man said the town is doomed. They were surrounded. Yeah. You who enters spirit.
There are some words etched into the door, but they are weathered and difficult to read. Worried though you are about whatever the words might say, you nonetheless try pushing the handle. With some protest, the door groans open.
Open door.
You spy the shadow of the monster you had countered earlier. Your insight that it had taken refuge in the spire has proven a good one. The shadow notices your presence and flies off at blinding speed.
Excuse me?
You can't help but admire the rapid escape, though it looks like you're back to chasing after a shadow.
I like exploring these because you never know what treasure you may find. Apparently, no treasure. And yes, I know you're referencing that. Well,
You
guess the
survey your surroundings, relying on the shafts of sunlight filtering in through the windows. However, you're unable to see the monster from where you are.
You don't say. Oh, this is interesting. Hey, Ursa, everything's going well. Hope you're doing well yourself. Thank you for the hydrate, Ursa. Oh, there's an altar. That's all that I can ask for nowadays. Well, I'm sorry that's all you can ask for. I wish the best for you, Ursa. I don't feel comfortable about this altar.
In the back of the large hall, there is an altar, which evinces a sense of deep mystery. The altar is wrought of a strange kind of stone, its surface polished smooth. It looks as though it's meant for use in some important ritual.
Too bad I don't know it.
You approach the altar to check that there are no places for monsters to hide themselves away inside it.
Man. Yeah.
In reply to the mysterious and unidentifiable voice that suddenly rent the silence, you ask in a sharp tone, "Who's there?"
I, Spirit.
You strain your ears, trying to make out the broken snippets of words echoing off the chamber walls.
Laddie. Laddie.
After speaking a word that rings familiar to your ears, Laddie, the voice becomes impossible to hear. It cannot be. Could you truly have heard the voice of the spirit from the maiden's myth passed down on the island? All signs of the monster you were in pursuit of seem to have vanished. For the time being, you decide to return to the village and report your success.
Oh yeah, one got away, but we're successful. Well, have Vega, time for me to sleep. Well, have Vega. Alright, Snowy, have a good sleep. Oh, an enemy. See, so tired I'm missing words. Well, sleep well, Snowy. I appreciate you dropping in. Oh, it's a mushroom. Oh, I rolled a 1. Fire, water, bolt, wind, light, and dark. Basically just explaining about... Ooh. That's a new ability. I'm glad to see they put some thought into some of this. I leveled up! Woo! Now I need 50 experience. I'll go from 10 to 50. Oh! Deal damage equal to the value of 3 dice. Interesting. Try attack. That's a new skill.
When you arrive at the mayor's house, there is a young visitor already there. She looks to be making an impassioned request of Greeth. In a wearied voice, Greeth replies, "There is no longer any maiden in our village." Admonished, the girl leaves the house with disappointment written across her expression.
So she wanted to be the
You
maiden.
inform the mayor that you've taken care of the monsters around town. As thanks for completing the job, the mayor hands you a basket of fruit. Oh, good, you think to yourself. Another day, another basket of fruit.
Where's the meat? They're added to your collection. You can read special stories about characters and enemies among your collection of cards. Progress to the adventure, defeat a myriad of enemies in your path to collect every special story. No. My collection is rather small. Yep. Well, let's go. Alrighty. Yup, I know I can jump.
You re-enter the grotto and announce your return. On a normal day, Laddie would already have zipped over to greet you. But today, nothing. You walk over to Laddie and discover that she is sound asleep.
Interesting.
Life in the grotto is not one of creature comforts. Rather, a fair few inconveniences. You've tried several times to bring Laddie to the village, but she was adamantly opposed on every occasion.
I wonder why.
You sometimes catch glimpses of her face while she sleeps. Always it is contorted in anguish, as though she is in the throes of a terrible nightmare. You notice a bulky book lying open next to Laddie, filled with carefully drawn words and images. It seems to be some kind of picture book that Laddie made herself.
Aw.
You know, I confess, I am a bit curious.
I love the little quips. Yeah, we'll take a peek.
Unable to overcome your curiosity, you decide to take a look at the picture book. Beside evocative images of deep forests and towering mountain ranges, Laddie has written a story patterned after the Maiden's myth. The picture book story is set in a small village replete with nature.
Oh?
The village enjoys the promise of peace and tranquility, thanks to the young woman born to be the Maiden.
Ooh.
The Maiden goes before the altar to perform a ritual, which invokes the power of a great spirit to protect the village. You look over the artwork, a spitting recreation of the altar you saw in the spire, and think back on the mysterious voice. The voice claimed it was a spirit, and you're certain it spoke Laddie's name. You are so caught up in the thoughts racing through your head that you failed to notice Laddie had awakened.
Oh no!
Laddie seems embarrassed that you've seen her book. Tears prick the corners of her eyes. If Laddie were indeed the Maiden, it would be no exaggeration to call her the very light of hope, a protective force that could save the island from its encroaching ruin.
Except...
With faint expectation tightening your chest, you consider taking her to the altar in the spire.
I have a bad feeling about that.
You've given Laddie some of the fruit you brought back. She dreamily stuffs some of it into her mouth. Maybe she likes it. You hope so.
I would too, if that's all I got to eat.
Your stomach rumbles as you watch her. And together, the two of you enjoy a light meal.
Woo! We got our first partner! Lead Laddie to the spire. Boo-doo. I should save my game. I won't lie, that's an adorable picture.
You take Laddie with you and return to the spire. As you approach the entrance of the spire, the staff that Laddie clutches close begins to emit a faint light. Seeing the mysterious light, you are convinced Laddie has a deep connection to the spire. Her expression uneasy, Laddie takes hold of your sleeve with a tentative touch.
Best part about this game is skipping areas you've already been through.
You stand before the altar once more, bathed in an air of mysticism. The light emitting from Laddie's staff intensifies, as if indicating its destination.
Excellent. The maiden.
In response to the enigmatic voice, Laddie's staff exudes a dazzling light.
Interesting. Oh, look, it's the
A
shadow.
spirit appears right before your eyes. Well, maybe it's a spirit? It's some kind of strange stuffed animal.
It's got flowers for eyes. I love it. I am the spirit, Kaf Kaf.
The stuffed toy seems to be affecting a voice of considerable gravitas and choking itself in the process. This creature is called Lack. Though you cannot be certain it speaks the truth, it claims to be a spirit.
Yes, lack of common sense.
You approach, hoping to ask about the maiden. But with blinding speed, Lack zooms behind Laddie, putting her between you as a shield.
Yeah, because we wanted to kill it.
You're the one from before, Lack says, quaking. It would appear that you're mistaking the creature for a monster, and doggedly chasing after it has made it rather afraid of you.
Yeah, I would say so.
You hold out an offer of reconciliation, and Lack takes it and immediately starts munching away. Between bites, it says, "You've got some good taste there."
I would hope so.
You're not really sure if the make good worked out, but in any event, Lack looks willing to listen to you now. You ask about the maiden once more, and Lack begins to talk a lot. It seems to enjoy doing so.
Interesting.
Just as the maiden's myth handed down amongst the denizens of the island suggests, it explains, Laddie was indeed born to be the maiden here. However, she was unable to take up her role. This has caused no small amount of distress over the island's inevitable destiny to sink beneath the raging waves.
Just build a boat.
Lack concludes with a proposal. How's about you go and meet with the other maidens and fetch the maiden's relics? As you had hoped, Laddie appears to be the key to the island's salvation.
Ask like what means ingredient. Meet the other maidens.
This island is not the only one home to a spirit. There are islands throughout this archipelago, and upon each dwells one of the 4 maidens who govern their own spirit. The self-proclaimed spirit explains that if you bring the maiden's relics that each of these maidens possess back to this spire, Laddie will be able to become a maiden herself.
Yes.
Laddie shows the staff in her hand, wearing an expression that seems to say, "This is a maiden's relic."
Oh.
You ask, should we kill the maidens and steal the relics?
Of course we're violent.
Laddie shakes her head rapidly, as if to insist that you definitely should not do that.
Yeah.
As Lack explains, each maiden has an attendant, an escort, and protector. This would make it difficult to take the relics by brute force.
Fetch quest.
If Laddie becomes a maiden, and performs the maiden's ritual at the altar, the island can be saved.
Ow.
The world-changing immensity of what you have just learned echoes in your mind. It takes you a little while to fully digest it.
Go to different islands, meet other people, proceed to, what's the word I'm looking for? Get all the maiden stuff.
But it does just so happen you've been readying a seaworthy vessel for your own purposes.
Yeah, to explore.
You accept Lack's proposal to help Laddie become a maiden.
Lack has joined the party. Leave.
So, you want me to poof you back to the entrance?
Yes, I will gladly poof back to the
You
entrance.
decide to make for the spire's exit. Accompanied by your new allies, you make to enter the village. But Laddie seems to find something about this idea disagreeable and clings to a tree nearby, refusing to budge. "Oh, I got this one," says Lack, evidently with some kind of plan in mind. The fluffy creature begins to chant a sort of mysterious spell.
Wanna wacka.
Suddenly,
Oh, it's
Laddie's
awful!
face is transformed into that of an odd old man's.
Oh, that's awful!
Laddie touches her transformed visage and then gives a thumbs up, perhaps as if to say, "Good job,
That's...
you are a god." But Laddie looks sideways at you as she walks into the village, her identity now safely hidden.
That is awful. I hate it. Visit your abode in the Omega Village.
This is your home. A desk pushed up near the wall is adorned with an unfurled map and a scattering of books.
Oh, nice.
The navigation map is of your own design and depicts the various islands in this region of the sea.
How would I
It
know?
contains information on the maidens of those nearby islands, culled meticulously from books and the tales of passing travelers.
Alright.
Before all of this, you had found yourself unable to merely sit and watch the village's decline, and so planned a voyage to seek aid from the maidens of the other islands.
Interesting.
After popping into the back room, you emerge with a carefully polished ship's wheel and present it to your companions.
Part of the ship. Part of the crew.
It is the final piece of the ship you restored at the grotto. With it, you will finally be able to set sail on the voyage you have dreamed of for so long.
Nice.
You have made ready for the voyage, but before you set sail, you decide to stop in at the mayor's to say your farewells.
No, I haven't. Whee!
Greeth's eyes fall over the unfamiliar face behind you. And who do we have here?
Well, who do we have here? My girlfriend, I don't know, a traveler.
You respond, a traveler, weary from a long journey. Greeth looks upon her with sympathy. Changing the subject, you explain to the mayor that you'll be leaving the village for a little while on a voyage to save the island.
Nice.
You felt sure that the mayor, with his love of the village, would see you off with a smile.
Absolutely not.
And yet the moment you explain that you found a maiden who can save the island, his attitude changes like the fickle sea winds, and he voices opposition to your journey.
Of course.
This island is destined to meet its end, he says. You cannot fathom
Oh.
why he, the mayor of the village, would believe something like that.
You can practically sense him digging his feet in. You cannot fathom why he, the mayor of the village, would believe something like that. My bad. What up, a personal devil? How's it going? Haha, reindeer.
Though each of you hold the island in your hearts, you cannot reconcile the difference of opinion. Like lovers going their separate ways after an acrimonious spat, it looks as though you will be setting out on bad terms.
That's awful.
You believe that your desire to save the island will prove to be the right perspective.
Alright, well, so much for that. Work's been brutal this week, but otherwise good. I'm sorry work's been brutal, Devil. You? Today we were, like, so slow. I got sent home a little early. Someone else was sent home a little early. I almost got scammed earlier today. It was pretty awful. I'm surprised I don't have any, like, malware or anything like that on my computer, but I scanned it like twice and it's fine. Head to your ship, the grotto. But otherwise, I've been super stoked waiting till I get home so I can play this game.
Your ship. Your trusted companion. Once a mere wrecked husk that you labored to bring back to life with months of sweat and toil. You climb up to the stern, and with every bit of care you can muster, you attach the wheel.
But because of it,
The final stroke upon the canvas.
I'm kind of tired. But you know, that's just how it be.
At last, your ship is finished.
It looks like a whale, but at the same time, it looks messed up.
The vessel's design is patterned after a great whale. There are a number of mismatched parts, but that particular quirk only makes you love it all the more.
Called the fact that it looked like a whale. Oof, yeah, work's been slow for us and volatile, so it's been hard to recoup losses. That sucks.
As you look over your handiwork, you realize that your companion on this upcoming journey will need a name. What would a fitting name be, you ponder? Laddie tears a page from her book and then scribbles a name down on it. In her small handwriting is written, The Bon Vent.
The ball.
According to Lack, the words are a kind of prayer in the language of the spirits for safe passage when bidding one farewell on a farewell said before long journeys. The words could make a fitting appellation for your ship.
Alright, so I was basically
You're
done.
unsure of just how much you ought to trust Lack or his skill with words, but nonetheless, decide to go with Laddie's suggestion.
You're not wrong. The bond.
Together, you load up the Bon Vent with the necessary provisions. Preparations for your departure are now finished.
Now then, you shall set sail and journey for the maidens. Weigh anchor!
You throw your hands upon the ship's wheel and shout, "Weigh anchor!" with gusto. Your voyage has begun.
Oh, joyous. More reading, probably? One of my favorite things that happens in these games, probably. Maybe? Yes. Spirits dwell upon the archipelago surrounded by the sparkling seas. It is on these islands that maidens guarded by... Oh, I didn't even get to read it. The spirits have helped them keep the island safe since time immemorial. Yet one of these isles like a maiden and can do nothing but await its ruination. A young seafarer is searching for a way to save his home. Meets a mysterious maiden who has lost her power and her voice. A self-proclaimed spirit tasks them to gathering the maiden's relics. And so they set sail to see the islands and hear their fates. The Tale of Departure. Finn. That's basically the premise of the story right there in a nutshell.
Though your ship had long since forgotten the taste of seawater, it nonetheless cuts through the waves like a fillet knife through fresh fish. It is your first sea voyage. Laddie's eyes glitter as she looks out at the horizon, stretching ever onward over the endless blue expanse. She opens up your homemade navigation map, checking the locations of the islands where the other maidens live.
Alright, so the premise of this game is that it is basically like a tabletop RPG told through the premise, through the medium of cards. Not the premise, the medium. So all your characters are going to be on cards, your monsters are going to be on cards, the text for the most part are going to be on cards. Everything's on cards. The world map. And it's your standard JRPG in the sense of you can grind out levels. Oh, your equipment and your items are on cards too. So everything's on cards. This is the second game, but it's also a standalone game from the first one. It just uses a lot of the same resources. So the game master is the one reading the cards for the most part. So the story for this one, because I won't get into the first one. The story for this one is that you live on the Omega Island. And... I see, yes. You live on Omega Island, and there are supposed to be maidens that communicate with spirits to protect the islands, and basically keep them from sinking. Well, your island doesn't have a maiden, so your island is doomed to sink, and everyone's basically resigned to it. You go out to hunt monsters like you do every day. Not very strong monsters, just weak monsters. You go to the spirit tower and come in contact with a spirit. You then realize that this girl, Laddie, is the spirit was supposed to be the spirit maiden for this island, but she failed to become the spirit maiden. So your goal is to travel to the other islands and get the maiden artifacts, like ours is the Omega Staff, and bring them back to the islands so that way Lottie can become an actual maiden to prevent the island from sinking. That is essentially what the story is.
On the island to the south of here lives a beauteous maiden garbed in azure robes, as though the sky itself is wrapped around her. After closing up the map, you grasp the wheel like a familiar old friend and tell the ship where you'd like to go. You now have free rein to sail across the sea as you see fit. New tales await you when you put into port on an island where a maiden dwells.
But what if I don't want to venture south? Now that your ship is complete, you can set sail the seas. Your piece will automatically change on land or sea. Awesome. An enemy has appeared. Oh, he's actually a card. Magic. Oh, she's got heal. Alright, cool. But, so, like, even in combat, there are, oh, you only have basic attacks. Alright. Water. Oh, no. So, like, combat's still basic. It's got animations and stuff like that, but it's still relatively neat. Ooh, I got a 6, but I also got a 1. So, ooh, it's a critical. So, the way combat works is that you have a set number of skills for each person. Like, he only has poke and charge. Charge gives me one of these gems. Gems are used to use skills. Like, I think it costs 1 gem to use her 1 gem to use her heal ability. It costs... Stop it! So, like, for him, it costs 1 gem to use air thrust, which you roll to attack and deal wind damage, or try attack, which is deal damage equal to the value of 3 dice rolled. I also just have a base attack and defense, as well as the enemy monsters. This red spot is our HP. Every one of my turns, we produce one of these gems. I will just stab. But, like, despite it being told through cards, they still have animations for stuff, which is always pretty neat. Yep, Lottie leveled up. There are only 4 main stats: HP, attack, defense, and speed. A lot of the magic abilities are going to be mainly dealt with dice rolls for most of their damage, and I think the attack stat also has an effect on it. I think. And then again, like I was telling Snowy earlier, the attention to detail to, like, even just the cards is really nice and pretty neat in my opinion. What are you doing down here? My slimes seem to be right here. But it's an interesting JRPG for sure. Like, I haven't played this one at all because it just released today. But I played the last one, even though, like I played it at the beginning of my streaming days. Man, that makes me sound like I've been streaming forever. I've only been doing it like 4 months. But, like, my first month of streaming, I played Voice of Cards and, like, Ender Lilies and stuff like that. And I thoroughly enjoyed Voice of Cards. I loved the music for the game. Ooh, she got Thunderbolt. Deal attack plus 4 bolt damage. See? Lack leveled up. Lack is the spirit for Omega Island. Inflict attack down on a roll if a roll is 4 or greater, and that must be rolling a d10. Yeah, it is really like a really chill game. Like, the final boss in the last one was
the Great Open Sea.
Oh yeah,
what an adventure.
There are random events that happen. But, like, the fights get progressively harder, especially once enemies start doing status effects. But it's a really relatively chill game for the most part, and I'm sorry, treasure chest?
A large chest floats in the water before you, no more than an arm's length away.
Grab it.
You take hold of the chest and pull the door. When you do, the lid springs open, And a glimmer catches your eye. You take a closer look at the glinting objects. Though corroded by seawater, they're undoubtedly coins.
50 gold. I like to fill out the whole map. I'm really OCD about it for some reason. So we're gonna just be grinding up levels and stuff like that. Ooh, those look cute. Yeah, I figured you were weak. Yep, see, it was rolling a d10. Now got attack down. Yeah, elements can be a real pain in the butt, especially ones that last until the end of combat. Only 1 damage, Pshaw. Don't play Valheim if you like filling the map, you'd be gone forever. So, I don't know if you've heard me talk about it, Devil, but there is a game series that I thoroughly enjoyed called the Etrian Odyssey. Originally on the DS, all the way through to the 3DS system, there are, I want to say, 7 or 8 games. There's the original Etrian Odyssey, Etrian Odyssey 2, Etrian Odyssey 3, Etrian Odyssey 4, Etrian Odyssey, Millennium Girl, Etrian Odyssey Leftfear Night, Etrian Odyssey Mystery Dungeon, and Etrian Odyssey 5 and Etrian Odyssey Nexus. So there are 9 games in total, and they are nothing but dungeon crawling games. Like, you have to sit there, for most of them, you sit there, you pick your classes for your characters that go into the dungeons, and the dungeons are stupid hard, and you hand draw the map while you're while you're exploring the dungeon. So you're like walking forward, like, all right, cool, this room is a 3x3, there's a treasure chest here, and over here, and then there's also this, that, and the other, there's a secret passageway over this way. And I loved playing that game. It was so satisfying. The combat was also tough as hell. The first, 2 or 3 games, there weren't really, much of a story. The first one didn't really have much of a story at all. It was just, a standard D&D adventure. Your goal is to map this dungeon. Go map this dungeon, and then you pick up quests at the bar for, go kill this specific enemy 20 times or something like that. Oh, I clicked out the screen. And, but as the game progressed further, as I should have done a special ability there. But as the game series got more and more popular and, in general, more and more well liked and renowned, they're like, all right, cool, we're gonna add some dope story to this. And so they came out with some interesting stories for them for sure. And each game had they kind of had some of the same classes, but not very many. And then they introduced different types of classes. And then, the last game, Etrian Odyssey Nexus, was, their Magnus opus for, the 3DS. They said they're not done with the series, but I don't know how they're gonna do it on the Switch. It had, every class from all of the game series, and including a new class, which was a hero class. So it was just really well done. It's made by Atlas. Look it up. It's fantastic. People keep telling me I should emulate it and stream it, but it's a grind fest. Like, the whole game, you start out level 1 with 5 adventurers with only 3 skill points to put into the skill trees for the adventurers. Yeah, it's hardcore as fuck. And what's it called? But if you like dungeon crawling and eventually, and like, if you stuck around with the series and you got like the story, it was very interesting because you also had like limited item space. You can't be like, I'm going to stack 99 cures, or actually they were called metacias. You know, I'm going to stack 99 metacias, which heal you. No, you can't do that. You can only go into the dungeon with 30 items. So you had your equipment. You had a what's it called? You had like 4 equipment slots. One's a weapon, one's a shield, one's the armor, and the other 2 are accessories, which could be helmets or boots or actual like accessories and charms and stuff like that. And let's face this while I talk. And but it's just like, all right, cool, we're gonna like go into this dungeon. It's like you have to plan out like a decent party.
I don't know what it is, but there's just something so relaxing about the sound.
Like you had to have like a balanced party, in order to do stuff, and then a balanced party, like you had to have a healer,
and fight.
You had to have some kind of DPS. You had to have some kind of magician, because if you don't, then trying to do elemental weakness to people is ridiculous. And you could fill it out with the rest. Like there was a status ailment dealer, there was a debuff dealer. Because if you did stuff like seal head or seal feet, then they couldn't do specific abilities that were like, all right, cool, I'm an elephant, I'm going to stomp on you. No, you're not. I sealed your feet. You can't do anything. So it was interesting in that sense. And then they also had a crafting mechanic to it too. Like, not the first game, maybe not the second one, but I want to say the third one. You had to bring, like, in order to get new equipment to appear in shop, you got items for killing monsters. And you got different, and so, like, if, no, new voice of cards, let's go! Awesome. You're not wrong, Dash. Hi, welcome to the stream. I'm talking about my favorite game series of all time other than Voice of Cards. You haven't missed too much, by the way, Dash. We literally, like, basically finished the prologue. And I will gladly explain it to you in a second. So, like, if you wanted to get, like, this specific sword, if you wanted to get, like, a particular weapon or a piece of armor, you would, it would unlock after you sold the necessary, like, materials in order to craft it. And then if you wanted a second set, you had to go back and get those materials again to order to craft it again. It was one of the most ridiculous hardcore games I've ever come across on a handheld system meant for children. But it was dope as hell. I want to say I've never felt so accomplished, and there are no achievements or anything like that because, you know, achievements hadn't been invented and they weren't on, like, the 3DS and stuff like that. And I never felt so accomplished as beating the secret boss in Etrian Odyssey, the first one. I got down there and I went and I fought the stupid thing. It's supposed to be hard as hell. And I killed it, and I'm like, yes! Gain immunity to attack down and defense down. Abilities are skills that confer passive effects. I am apparently immune to attack down and defense down. That is by far the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Cure target of any elemental resist down status element restored 10 HP. Interesting. So Dash, the story so far. Yeah, let's give me 5 seconds. I want to see my abilities because I don't know. All right, so he's the only one with ability. All right, cool. We'll save. All right, so we were on Omega Island with Omega Village, and this is a Spirit Spire. We were in here with this girl named Lottie. She refused to go to the village, so she was living in this grotto. The story started with you finished building your ship. So you then proceed to go here. Monsters are stealing what little food you have left. Everybody's downtrodden and sad and upset because apparently they have accepted ruination because your island is supposed to sink because you don't have a maiden. Well, you go to exterminate monsters and you go to try to kill one and it's just like, no, we're gonna run to this Spirit Spire. So you go inside the Spirit Spire even though you're not technically supposed to. You go up to the second floor. There's an altar. You hear a disembodied voice. You hear them say your partner's name. Lottie. You go back to the grotto. You see that she has a picture book. She's also a mute, by the way. She's a mute. So you go back, see she's got a picture book. It's got the Maiden's Myth in it. So, about like how they're supposed to keep the islands up and everything like that. And you're like, awesome, dope. She wakes up, you take her to the Spirit Spire. You find out, and then when you get to the top, you find out that she is indeed the Maiden. By this guy here. He is the spirit of our island known as Locke. L-A-C, Locke. She is indeed supposed to be the Maiden, but she failed in some way or form. Like, she wasn't ready for it or something happened. So, in order to keep your island from sinking, you need to go to the other 4 maidens. I think it's the other 4 maidens. It might be 3. And then you're the 4th. To retrieve the maidens' artifacts, which by the looks of them were weapons. In order to perform some kind of ritual, in order to make Lottie a maiden, and to keep your island from sinking. And then I started exploring the area around me as I got off on a tangent by one of my favorite video games.
Nope.
I'm technically...
Whirlpools are a common occurrence in this area of the sea. It doesn't seem like your ship is capable of crossing them.
I'm supposed to be heading south. But judging by the fact that there are nothing but whirlpools above me, I will be heading south now.
And fight.
And fight. I have more energy now that I was talking about my favorite game series. It makes me want to play it again. I still technically haven't beat Eastern Odyssey Nexus, but that's because I want to say by the 4th or 5th game, instead of one mass, because like the first 3 games were essentially one massive dungeon. I want to say the 4th game, they started toying with multiple mini dungeons. We can take the whirlpool. Got you. Add value to the roll to the target's attack for 3. Ooh.
Yeah, you can't cross Whirlpool cards. Ahoy, matey. It's like you can feel the sea breeze.
Now I'm just exploring for treasure by this point in time. And levels.
Don't hold back.
I won't. It's going to die. Or it's going to dodge. No, 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 no. Alright, cool. It rolled a 3. Like, we're not dealing with poison. No. Sure, why not? Roll me those 666s. Close. Don't tell me what I can and can't do, narrator. You're not wrong. Lock leveled up. The music's really calm and relaxing. I think that's what was kind of like putting me to sleep to a certain... Ah, shipwreck.
You discover a shipwreck. You climb aboard and begin searching for anything useful.
500 gold.
When you return to your vessel, the shipwreck sinks silently into the sea.
This is why you explore, ladies and gentlemen. Even at the cost of potentially taking damage from monsters.
Hope you win.
Oh, I will. Watch this. Oh my. Oh, look, it's still my turn? Alright, cool. Abusing the turn order. Let's go. 3 to their 1. That means I have how much money now? 500 plus. Alright, I have 1,000 gold. I can go back to Omega Island and to buy... I don't know. A better sword? Armor? Ugh. Darn. It's like they knew.
Show them what you got.
That's the plan, my man. Let me just casually toss down 18 damage on your face. Just body slam you. I will charge. So that way she can heal. And then jab should potentially kill him. Yep. Because using items is for chumps. Alright, this is getting a little bit more further south than I would like. So we'll go back up this way.
And
fight! Throw down that casual thunderbolt, ladies and gentlemen. 18 damage, that's what we'd like to see. You don't really have anything beneficial. You got that debuff on you that That is nice. Inflict seal. Oh. I hate seal. It's okay. I can still kill you. I like the effect of seal, though. It's really nice, but I hate what it does. Bear leveled up. I leveled up. Maiden of Purity gained immunity to curse. Nice. Locke leveled up. Event. It's another treasure chest. We're gonna grab it. Probably a monster. Oh, no, more coins. Alright. I know this is probably not necessarily the most
Fight.
invigorating. No, not the most catching of streams, but you know, I enjoy this game too much. Just how it be sometimes. More whirlpools. So there's not a sunken ship over here, I don't think it. Alright, where am I supposed to be going, per se? That's the edge of the map. So somewhere in here, if I had to take... Oh, yes.
Hope you win.
Hope I win. She's got stupid speed. What is your speed, Lottie? Like, I have to know. Woo! I fulfilled the... Oh yeah, so that's the other thing I guess I could be doing is just grinding out enemy cards story. Because then you get little tidbits like this. That's a sea slug. That's what. Tales abound of the traveling masked performer who used to train monsters in his act. It proved wildly popular and brought mirth to many. After the man's death, one intrepid monster took up his mask and attempted to carry on the act. It was an abject failure, and the audience soon dwindled. She is fast. Her speed's 11. Oh my word. Can I see your stats? No. Hey, hey Dash. Dash, you still around? Are you in the Discord? Can I yell at you via Discord? You and a bunch of people are in Discord. But look, it's Lizzie. Man, everybody playing Terraria. I'm gonna log in and it's gonna be, like, so different than when I last logged in. Ooh. Oh?
You spot something blown into the sky from a whale's spout.